Welcome to the Brow Report. We are live on a Tuesday, 8 o'clock Eastern. We actually started on time. It's a miracle. So thanks so much for everybody listening and watching the show. Currently, we are got a ban on Instagram for doing live. They won't explain exactly why. They just say, hey, hit learn more, and it has like 25,000 pages of legal jargon. Any way to possibly nail you for doing something that they don't agree with. So we're live on YouTube tonight and live on Blog Talk Radio. If you'd like to join in with me tonight, you give us a call, 516 531 9316. Bill is out tonight. He's up north visiting with his mom. So, Bill, enjoy your time off. And we got lots of things to hit tonight on the show. So, like I said, feel free, hit us up on uh, Instagram. Instagram, you can see our posts still and our videos and stuff. So hit us up there. We'd love to hear from you. We hear from a lot of people saying that our posts are labeled COVID-19 all the time. Absolutely. Even though they are not COVID-19 related posts on Instagram. It seems like they continue to target the page. It's fine and dandy. It's what they do. They're a bunch of communists. That's what they're out to do. Squash free speech at any point. They think they're publishers, which they think if they're publishers, they can determine what can be published, and that means they're a publisher. So, hey, whatever. I mean, our government won't do shit about it, so f them all. Um, I sound positive, right? So, let's start off with Kamala Harris. Users on Twitter roasted Vice President Harris for passing out cookies made her likeness to reporters on a plane traveling to meet with the president of Guatemala. Somebody made one and we shared it on Instagram, which is pretty funny. It looks like that creepy thing on YouTube. Well, it starts with an M or something, but it's that creepy thing that tries to scare kids and stuff. And it was a dead ringer for her. I mean, just nuts. So she passes out cookies in her own likeness. Can you imagine if Donald Trump did that, or Mike Pence, or any of the Trump kids did that on a flight? They handed out cookies in their likeness. I mean, come on, man. I mean, Kamala Harris is so full of herself, so full of herself. I mean, we need to really start nailing this chick. I'm not nailing this chick in in the way that she got her start in politics, but she's about worthless. She is absolutely one of the worst. One of the worst. I just can't stand what that chick has been doing. I call her chick because I mean, come on, she's not really trying to be the best vice president. She's constantly running around acting like she's the biggest, baddest thing since sliced bread. And she's terrible. Terrible. And here's when Kamala Harris gets tough questions. Yeah, that's how it usually works. That's Kamala Harris with tough questions. She laughs at tough questions because that's if you see someone that laughs a lot during tough questions and stuff, that's a one of those I guess psychologists call it like a protective thing. They're scared. They're scared of something hard going on in their life, so they go into that protective mode. And hers is laughing. Um, just it's terrible. I mean, it's just one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. I mean, we went from Mike Pence to Kamala Harris. What a joke. Kamala Harris is a joke, folks. And she's so full of herself. She has cookies made in her likeness. I mean, didn't have her face on it. Maybe they can just decorate it the way they want to decorate it. Maybe they have a cookie decorating contest. Just absolutely crazy. So here's something that's this the attack on America in general. A lot of these communists out there want to create a race war between blacks, white, Asians, Hispanics, whatever they're trying to do, trying to divide us rather than keep us together. So a psychiatrist lecture talks about fantasies of shooting white people. This is her quote. I had fantasies of unloading a revolver into the head of any white person that got in my way, burying their body and wiping my bloody hands as I walked away relatively guiltless with a bounce in my step, like I did the world a fucking favor. This is Dr. Um, Aruna Kalani. She is the psychopathic problem of the white mind. That's what she's talking about. Um, Murder's not good, folks. And this chick is openly saying that she hates white people, openly racist. Openly racist to the point that she's saying it's okay to kill people. Openly. She's like, says that that's her fantasy is to shoot a white person in the head. Any white person that got in my way, that's what she said. That's the ultimate racism. It's not even like targeting a person. It's just like any white person. Openly racist. This is a psychiatrist. A psychiatrist. Someone that's supposed to be helping people. Can you imagine? They should like get rid of her license to practice. Because she openly said this. Can you imagine her treating white people? And maybe what she's doing to manipulate their minds? To hurt them? But you know what? No one's doing anything about it in the government because the government doesn't give a rat's ass or a shit about you and me. They just don't. They don't. Now I'm not saying everybody in government's terrible, but the government's so damn big now. It's so huge. They don't care. They care about you, me, your family, your friends. They don't give a shit. All they want is your fucking money and to control you. And if people die along the way, that's the way it is. They simply don't care. That chick should be in a padded room right now rather than free on the streets. So, the supposed funny guy, he's not really funny at all. He's more of an ass than anything else. Jackass, Democrat, whatever you want to call him. So Jimmy Kimmel joked about Governor Ron DeSantis' kickoff of the Florida's 2021 Python Challenge in the Everglades. We have a python issue in the Everglades. People, probably in Miami, Democrats, released a bunch of pythons because they couldn't handle them anymore. Rather than taking them to a shop or surrendering them to like a reptile store or something or an expert, they just threw them in the swamp, and now they've reproduced at an alarming rate, killing birds, killing alligators, killing wildlife, native wildlife in the Everglades. So every year in Florida, they have a python roundup where you don't even need a license. You just go out there and kill them. They're an invasive species. You're allowed to kill them year round, but they give you prizes, for I guess the biggest python or whatever it may be. It's kind of like iguanas in South Florida. Invasive species. Probably Democrats released it because they're not very responsible with anything, and they just released them, and now they're everywhere. And you can kill iguanas year round in Florida with no repercussions. You can just shoot them or whatever. They're invasive. They eat bird eggs. They're just generally a nasty species. And thanks for people releasing them because you're a bunch of morons. And you're probably the ones that say, oh, climate change and all these different things, how the world's so bad. But you release these animals into the wild and they just start destroying local wildlife. You're morons. And you know what? You're pretty much assholes. So Jimmy Kimmel called Florida America's North Korea. I'm sorry. We live in freedom and liberty. We have jobs. We have hospitals open that are not overrun with COVID patients. We have the ability to make money. Businesses are open. Restaurants are open. And he's in commie California. But, he's a communist probably. So he gets to have all the best of everything. One of those millionaires, limousine liberals that run around saying the world's falling. You need to trust the Democrats. But at the same time, you're starving to death because, you trusted a commie. Remember we had wars against communism? I mean, we had these, I guess you'd call proxy wars back in the Cold War. But we didn't tolerate that shit. Now we tolerate these assholes. We're very tolerant in this country, but we keep tolerating left-wing propaganda and these lies that they continue to push. Oh, Jemele Hill. Oh my God, Jemele Hill. If you ever heard of Jamel Hill, I'm sorry. She was on Woke Center, which was Sports Center. With It was shortly lived. It was race baiting at its finest. It was ESPN and ABC's attempt to go for the woke crowd. They're so woke. They're concerned about everybody. She's the ultimate race baiter. But no, you know what? ESPN let her go. I mean, even ESPN couldn't stand her. So the go-to move, racism. If you disagree with the woke brigade, you are a racist. Jamel Hill calls Joe Manchin, the a Democrat senator from West Virginia, white supremacist white dude. Little does she know that Joe Biden was actually friends with a grand wizard of the KKK, Robert Byrd. She's not going after Joe Biden for being friends with a Klansman. It, Joe Biden's talking about racial jungles. See, but she goes after a sitting senator rather than going after the sitting president that was BFFs with a Klansman. And here's the thing, folks. That's the only person in my life, I swear to you, my 42 years on this beautiful earth, I've never known a single person in the Klan or person that knew someone in the Klan that openly said it. But you got Joe Biden in the presidency saying he cares about black people. Best friends with a Klansman. Absolutely ridiculous. Really is. Speaking of craziness that goes on, comes out of North Carolina. This is not even a Florida story. It's like, really? Yeah, we have Florida stories, of course, but this guy named Ever Lopez said he and his family returned home disappointed but remained proud of their heritage. He decided to walk to get his diploma and put a Mexican flag around himself. Keep in mind, this guy was born in the United States. Parents, I guess, from Mexico. He says proud of his heritage. You can be proud of your heritage, but you live in the United States. If things were so great back in Mexico, why the hell are you here? You can love heritage, ethnic heritage, but throwing a flag of a foreign country around you in the United States that has offered you a free education, where you can get a high school diploma, paid, of course, by taxpayers, but you get the gist. Where you can go to public school, get in, and actually get a high school diploma very, I wouldn't say easily, but you can get one. And now, guess what? You decide to throw a flag around yourself, and you didn't get your diploma. Now, he did get it later, but this guy decided to wrap himself in a Mexican flag, and then everybody's like, why is it so bad? Listen, the rules are the rules. It's funny how every left-wing lunatic doesn't like rules until it's rules against conservatives that are actually mostly unjustified, just targeted rules. If you can decorate your cap, decorate with Mexican flag, dude. Be proud of your ethnicity or where you didn't come from or whatever it may be. Maybe he identifies as a Mexican citizen. I don't know. I can't speak for that. But decorate your cap like you're allowed to, but don't drape yourself in a foreign country's flag. It makes no sense. You have the opportunity where a lot of people don't have the opportunity back in Mexico. If you're proud of your heritage, maybe you should live there. It's very interesting how people say they're so proud of their heritage. They come from like a country that has civil war all the time, or a country that's controlled by communists. You're proud of your heritage, but you're here. You're here in the United States. Be proud that you have the opportunity to change your life and your family's life. Why does Joe Biden say creepy shit to little girls? Maybe it's because he's a pedo? I don't know. Maybe you should do an investigation in that. Possible. I don't know. Maybe you should do an investigation in that. But we posted a very funny meme on Instagram and on Facebook. We have a very small Facebook page now that we try to start up. It's being destroyed by Facebook as normal. It's funny how social media companies are praised, for, sharing information, and yet they continue to bash conservatives, bash people that say COVID-19 is a conspiracy and it was made in a lab. They ban people. They lied about it, and turns out, looks like it came from a lab, just like we said. Joe Biden's PR team, after he made weird comments to yet another underage girl. That's the meme. This guy makes the creepiest statements. He makes racist statements. They're going to put you back in chains to a bunch of African Americans or blacks. You can say whatever. I just call them Americans. I mean, whatever. But he's always race pandering. He was best friends with a Klansman, folks. It's like, but Robert Byrd rescinded all the things that he did. Listen. Robert Byrd was trying to stop the Civil Rights Act in the 1960s. That's Robert Byrd. I'm sorry. But that guy was evil. And Joe Biden is his BFF. That was his mentor, a Klansman. But hey, whatever. What have the Democrats done for black people since forever? Name one good thing they've done. Trump was trying to help. Trump was trying to change the way things were in the inner cities. But you know what? Election stolen, election not stolen, whatever it may be. You got Joe Creepy Biden making inappropriate statements to little girls. But whatever. Just keep blaming Trump. That's what y'all are good at. You're not good at anything except for trying to spend $6 trillion on, shovel-ready jobs again, shovel-ready daycare, shovel-ready free community college, whatever. You're just trying to put the death knell on the United States, and maybe you will put the death knell on the United States. Maybe it will be the great destruction of the United States of America, and we got what we deserved. I don't know. Maybe we do deserve it. Because men weren't strong enough to stand up. The women weren't strong enough to stand up. And we allowed a bunch of fucking commie assholes to destroy our country. But hey, we didn't need a nuke to drop on us or anything like that. We just allowed pieces of shit just to destroy our country. Gave away free shit. Tax people, tax corporations, borrow. Federal Reserve, destroying our currency. Hey, whatever works. We only can look ourselves in the mirror and say, we allowed this shit to happen. Even if you voted straight down Republican tickets or whatever, there's Republicans out there that are pieces of shit too. They've done the same thing. Sold us down the river. To China, to Russia. They did it. Hey, whatever. Enjoy the hyperinflation that's coming. Enjoy the high stock market because it's all BS right now. Because eventually Biden's going to get the corporations taxed. They're going to have no dividends, and the market's going to crash. I'm in bonds right now, folks. I'm not playing this game. Y'all can play that game of this record high stock market, knowing good and well it's going to crash. It's going to crash. And I'm not a financial guy, but I see this shit. As soon as COVID happened, I got out. Just after COVID started, made some money. Got back in at the low, made some money. I did the same thing with the housing crisis. Sold out, bought back in at the dip, made money. But y'all can do whatever. Hey, just stick with it and just let your 401k be destroyed. Now, if you're young, you're fine. You probably bounce back. But the older folks in the United States are going to get screwed again by the Biden administration because they're going to fuck everything up. We're going to need some more government programs, more food stamps, more whatever to, support the elderly. They don't care about the elderly. They don't care about unborn children, We say this about this on the show all the time. They just don't care about you and me. They're commies. They're communist. But whatever. Joe Biden just keeps making comments about little girls. It's cool, folks. Don't worry about that shit. Oh, so When pressed on why the U.S. has seen two massive cyber attacks under Biden, Jen Psaki tells Peter Doocy of Fox News to track down the Russian hackers and ask them. See, this chick wears a hammer and sickle Soviet Union hat with Russian officials. She called Joe Biden back in 2019 inept and out of touch. She is his press secretary. You know, the redhead chick, Jen Psaki. She has no answers. Please bring back Trump and his press secretaries. Please bring them back. At least we got information. This chick is classic circle back. She knows nothing what the hell's going on because she can't say anything because it's all bad. She can't defend. She can't defend Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Who can defend that shit? They're inept. They're morons. They don't know what the hell's going on. They are just plain flat out losers. And whoever voted for them, you voted for you voted for an old white guy. Remember, the Democrat Party's so woke. We're going to vote for, someone that's black or Latinx or whatever thing that you're calling now. But you got Kamala Harris that's not black. She acts black sometimes. I guess by her changing her, how she talks to certain crowds, kind of like Hillary Clinton did. If she's in the South or she's in a black neighborhood. Just remember, Kamala Harris threw a bunch of black dudes in jail in California for like smoking weed. But she admitted smoking weed. But she was like a prosecutor in San Francisco and just started throwing black dudes in jail. Just remember that shit. She doesn't give a fuck about black people. What has she done for black people? What has she done? Remember when Kamala Harris ran out of the borders, talk about kids in cages under Trump, but that was actually a Joe Biden and President Obama thing. They started that shit. Then when they catch them in cages and shipping containers here during their administration, she has nothing to say about it. She doesn't visit the border. She laughs and cackles when she's asked about it. She is a loser. Jen Psaki's a loser too. They're all losers. They're classic deflection. They are the worst of the worst. These are communists. They never answer for their crimes. Never answer for their crimes. Never. And they don't change. They just keep doing the same thing over and over again, destroying America. And we look at it and we're like, oh, this is so funny. We're gonna win back the House and Senate in 2022, and we're gonna get back presidency in 2024. Who's gonna guarantee that? We got a bunch of damn idiots out there voting for fucking welfare checks and stimulus checks. Do you think that shit's really going to change? We need fundamental change back to real values and moral and character. These Democrats are pieces of shit. They don't care about you, me, or anybody else. They care about power and putting the thumb on you. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, social media companies really trying just to hold you down because you know what? They don't care about the fucking truth. They care about their narrative. Their narrative is to destroy America. They don't care about America. They don't care about how we're the greatest country on the face of the earth. They want us down. They want us destroyed. And that, you know what? We're allowing it to happen. We don't have everybody's like, Parler's a great social media company, blah, blah, blah. No, they suck. Parler went from this halfway decent like Twitter thing where you can share links and pictures and stuff, and they changed it completely where you have to log in every time with a CAPTCHA, all this bullshit. I don't want to use that shit anymore. It's too hard to use. I don't want to sign in every fucking time, do a fucking CAPTCHA, and then it logs me out later. Fuck that shit. And whoever's running Parler, they're probably a bunch of commies now too. Because I don't know how they make money. They're probably selling your fucking data. We need a actual alternative. We're working with a guy on Instagram, and we shared some of his content out there. So hopefully we'll have some news coming up on a possible new form of social media to help us bring, I guess you could say, sanity to everything. So we're very hopeful. Oh my goodness gracious. All right. Last topic of the day. We posted this very exciting meme, and it has a vaccinated only, go inside, unvaccinated outdoors, and to go only. Folks, they can't get us by race. They're trying. They're trying to race bait us all the time. Trying to get us by social economic. Hasn't completely worked yet. Democrat, Republican, conservative, liberal. Now it's vaxxed or non-vaxxed. I say this so many times on the show. Talk to your doctor. But I've seen too many stories on the news. I've seen too many stories of people getting sick from these vaccines, gene therapies, whatever they may be. Bill's been vaxxed. I'm not. I got COVID. I survived. We have a flu shot that's released every year, but it's not guaranteed. And people are saying that the COVID, there's like a new fourth strain of COVID. It's mutating. Are we really going to trust the government, say it's a mutation and not just another release of another form of the COVID? Are we going to really believe that shit? I don't believe about anything that comes out of a Democrat's mouth because it's a bunch of fucking commie propaganda. Get the vaccine. It's vaxxed or masked. Fuck you, Joe Biden. No. This isn't fucking North Korea, you asshole. Maybe Jimmy Kimmel needs to look at Joe Biden and what he's trying to do to America as North Korea. Maybe he should look at him a little more closely than Governor Ron DeSantis. That, you know what? People in Florida, trust the people. Let the people live their lives. Let them make choices. That's freedom. Freedom is not this top-down government putting a thumb on you and allowing businesses to do the same thing. If a business said that, I would not patronize that business. Why would I want to give money to a corporation like that? And there's these major big corporations. I mean, we all use Facebook pretty much. We use not as much Twitter. A lot of us use Instagram as a way to share information. But until we get a social media company that can grow and be trusted for free speech, I don't know. Telegram is a free speech platform, a little harder to use. We're on it. So check us out there at Brown Report. Don't forget, if you go to Instagram and look us up, the links to our podcast are there. The links to the YouTube are in the bio. So check that out as well. So I want to thank everybody for listening tonight. Bill's out, as I said earlier. Bill should be back next Tuesday. So I want to thank you all for listening to the podcast today. Greatly appreciate it. And as always, don't forget, get us on the podcast, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and Spotify, and Blog Talk Radio. And we're also on the YouTube. Thanks so much for listening. Have a great night, everybody.